On behalf of everyone at WNET, congratulations to Steve Adubato and the Caucus Educational Corporation on 25 great years of broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Bernie Flynn. At New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Company, we believe that all citizens need to be informed about the important issues that affect their daily lives. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, Sun National Bank, New Jersey Natural Gas, proud to support education in our communities. United Water, making the planet sustainable is the best job on earth. County College of Morris, connecting learning and life. The Merck Company Foundation. And by Fedway Associates, Inc. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger and NJ.com, Everything Jersey. And by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Hi, folks. I'm Steve Adubato. Welcome to the Tisch WNET studios right here in beautiful Lincoln Center. I want to welcome for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. I want to welcome Marin Ireland. I cannot believe people get that name wrong. It is so easy. She's an actress, and she's playing in The Big Knife right now, which is in the Roundabout Theater Company's at Big Knife at the American Airlines Theater. By the way, you are playing with one of our favorite performers, Bobby Canavale. Set up what The Big Knife is and why people should go see it.
Sure. It's set in Hollywood in 1949, and Bobby's character is a very, very famous movie star of the good old Hollywood golden era.
And you are?
And I am his wife, who is not in the business. I like to think that she's not your typical long-suffering wife, but she is sort of your long-suffering wife. She's separated from her husband at the moment when the play begins.
The two of you right there?
Yeah, me and Bobby.
Bobby Canavale from a whole bunch of things. I said right before we got on the air, we saw him on Glengarry Glen Ross. We had the director here, but also from Boardwalk Empire.
Yep.
And set this up a little bit more. As you're talking about the play, he brought you in.
Yeah, Bobby. We did a reading of the play about a year ago, and Bobby and I have known each other and wanted to work together for a long time. And he wanted me to come in and be a part of the reading, and it was we hit it off in those roles. It was great. It's a great kind of there's a good kind of old Bogey Bacall kind of feeling to our characters. They're a real match for each other. But basically, Bobby's character is trying to get out of the studio system, and he's kind of caught in a tough spot.
An ethical, moral conundrum.
Yeah. I don't want to give anything away.
Not too much.
He's grappling with some big demons.
Speaking of demons.
Yeah.
I have no segue. I just realized I had absolutely no segue for that. I thought I had an easy one. Let's do this one. As we go back, I'll go back to the play in just a little bit. Let's talk about your background. Where'd you grow up?
Southern California.
Don't say Marin County.
I did not. Southern California, but the county is helpful for people to remember how to pronounce my name.
Southern California.
But, yeah, outside of LA, in kind of a small town, Camarillo, which used to be famous for the state mental hospital being there. It's no longer there, but it's kind of a little farm town in Southern California.
How did we get you in New York?
Gosh, that is a good question. I went
I don't
to
have
college.
answers. I just have questions. So.
I went to college in Hartford at the Hart School. I was in the first class of their theater program there, and started coming to New York every weekend and seeing shows.
Seeing shows.
Yeah, and then couldn't get me away. It felt like the right place for me. I mean, I grew up far enough outside of LA that I really didn't have a deep connection to that place or the way kind of the business worked in LA.
Did not?
I didn't know. I mean, I was about an hour outside of LA proper, so it didn't really feel much like I really had a foothold there.
Acting bug?
Since I was a kid.
Okay, hold on. You had the acting bug as a kid.
Yeah.
But when you're out in LA, the bug is not manifesting itself.
Well, you know, I was doing theater. I was doing like community theater stuff when I was a kid, and So I never really did that thing that I know a lot of people did when they were that age, if they really got into it, had their family drive them, mom drive them to like, commercial auditions or whatever. I was doing a lot of community theater stuff and really, intense on Shakespeare and all the classics. So it didn't really translate to kind of what I thought of as LA at that time. You know what I mean? I wanted to be in New York and Broadway and real kind of theater stuff when I was a kid.
First paid gig?
I was doing
like
lots
James
of summer
Lipton.
stuff. I know. I did a lot of summer
I had these
stock.
cards that I started doing.
When I was in college, I was doing a lot of summer stock. So I was doing like little parts in Pygmalion and these crazy plays like Hobson's Choice.
Wow, you really are talking about the classics.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from for you? A lot of reading as a kid?
Lots of reading. I was when I was real, like 9, 10 years old, just couldn't keep the books out of my hands, and I wanted to be a writer before I got in. When I was a little kid, writing lots of like stories, and then community theater. I loved reading all those plays and being a part of them. I actually, what was last at the Roundabout was Picnic, which when I was 13, I did a production of Picnic playing Millie, the younger sister, and that changed my life. And Millie wants to, in the play, go to New York, but that was the first time I really remember having a really profound reaction to doing a play, and it feeling like, this is my life, this is me. I had an older sister, I was a tomboy, I was reading all the time, and I kind of was like, William Inge, he understands my life, he understands me, and I could really put my experience into a role, and that was the first time kind of it cracked open for me as to what that experience could be. It could be really transformative.
This performance on Broadway, not your first.
No, my first one was in the Neil LaBute play Reasons to Be Pretty in 2009.
What'd you play in that?
I played a girl, she's a hairdresser in a small town, and her boyfriend, has been informed of a comment that was overheard by him that she has a regular face, and everything explodes from there. And so the play starts. She's sort of, figuratively burning the house down and walking away. So
let's fast forward to Big Knife. Last performed on Broadway in 1949.
Lee Strasberg directed. It was
the
great.
great.
One and only.
Yeah. What do you think took it so long to come back?
That is such an interesting question, because I think that the more I'm learning about Odette's and his career, I think that there was, which can happen to a lot of writers who are really prolific, is, he had kind of what people considered his best period, where it was Waiting for Lefty and Awake and Sing and these plays people really know about. And then the critics sort of turned on him, this play called Night Music that he wrote in 1941. And everything after that kind of fell into this period where he had kind of fallen out of favor with the critics. And so this play kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit. There's a lot of plays of his, later plays of his, that didn't really get the attention that his earlier stuff did, or his stuff during his kind of golden era.
And your character's name, Marion?
Marion.
Marion Castle. Now you said that in the role as Bobby Carnavale's wife in this, set in 1949, he said, you're not the typical wife who is, how did you describe it again?
Long-suffering.
But then you said you are long-suffering.
Yeah, I mean,
are you or are you not suffering in this play?
Well, I think it's only because, when you're playing these roles, you got to really advocate for them. And so I like to think of her as, she's stronger than that. She's got a real spine. She's just trying to figure out, how do you love a man who has succumbed to the worst parts of success, basically.
What does that mean? Well, first of all, he wants to succeed, but as I understand, as you read about the play, you don't want to give away too much.
Yeah.
He knows certain things.
He's
being being protected. Something has happened. He's done something. The studios know what he has done. They are attempting to protect him to some extent, but in the effort to protect him, he makes some sort of Faustian deal.
Right.
And in the process, ethical, moral issues.
Right. I mean, and as far as Marion is concerned, it's gone a lot further back than any sort of single incident. As far as she's concerned, when they got together, he was a Broadway actor in New York.
Do you want him to make money?
I did. She no longer places such a high priority on that, because the kind of person he's become, He's been out in Hollywood for 12 years, and basically, he's been held hostage by the studio in a lot of ways.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, in
He's working.
in this old studio system, though, once you sign a contract with that studio, you only make movies for them. That's it. So you only do what they tell you to do. It's like if you're stuck on a TV show for 10 years,
right.
That's all you can do. You can't do other things. And they've stuck him in these terrible movies.
But he has to do them.
And he has to do them.
No choice.
And he can't do any other movies. So
They own him.
They own him. So he's doing these terrible movies, you know, like these real, like, kind of, they're giving him the worst movies to do, and he can't do anything else. And he's drinking. He can't stop drinking. He's cheating on me. He's drinking, and he's like, he loves this life, and who can blame him? He's making millions of dollars to basically be paid to, like, do terrible movies and sit around. So he's become. She's trying. She doesn't work. She's trying to, like. She loved the life, certainly, for a while, but he's become somebody she can't live with anymore. He's openly cheating on her. He's become a drunk.
So getting nice things doesn't do it for you.
Not anymore. She's sort of seen the difference in him since, and she's like, I don't like this guy anymore. I don't like him. He's not the person I married.
You want out? I don't want to give away too much.
Well, you know, it's really tricky because she wants out.
All right. I'm being told stop.
She wants to take him with her. You know,
Did she want to make him be a better person?
I mean, here's the thing, right? They when they were in New York, when they first met and got married, it was all about kind of this real idealistic thing. You know, we can change the world with art.
We're in this together?
With art, yeah. I mean, it's like her and they came out there with, like, writer friends of theirs, and it was like he was discovered on Broadway by Hollywood. It was like, we can change the world with art. You know, it was real idealistic stuff. And now
it's business.
Look, it's business. He makes crummy movies, you know?
Oh, God. And the ending is interesting.
The ending is very interesting.
That's all I'm going to say. And where can people see it?
At the American Airlines Theater on 42nd Street. Right across from the McDonald's.
Let me ask you, real quick, Homeland.
Yeah.
That little show?
Yeah. Who knew?
Who knew? But did you know?
I had no idea.
Tell everyone your role and how it all happened.
Gosh, well, similarly, I mean, she's a woman with a secret. She's you haven't
Where can people
seen the
find
show.
Homeland?
Well, it was on Showtime, so I think you can watch it on demand, things like that.
Yes, you can.
I think even on iTunes.
By the way, Homeland fans here, guys. Homeland fans. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Terry, you are our floor manager, and your character is?
Eileen, you know, she's got a secret.
You got issues?
She's got some serious issues with this country.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But interesting.
Yeah.
You relate?
Yeah, I could relate.
You can.
Sadly. I mean, not just to this, you know, my issues with the country, but you know, look, she's trying to make a difference. You know, what can I say?
Was.
But I did not have any idea that the show would kind of go on, and I also didn't know I come back.
How do you not know?
Because, you know, when you get these jobs as an actress, you know, I hadn't read the pilot. Then they kind of say, okay, they want you to do 4 episodes of this show. You audition. You have 3 pages of sides. They don't give you the whole script. You know, you hear, like, it's Claire Danes' new show. There's lots of good shows that don't end up even going to air. You know what I mean? There's lots of good shows that never even get picked up.
And it hits.
And then it hits, and you have no idea. You really can't know until the public kind of decides.
You love your work?
I do.
1 to 10?
Pat, off the scale.
All right, just checking. Yeah. Just want to make sure. Marin Ireland.
Yeah.
Actress that you can find playing in The Big Knife as the wife of Bobby Canavale, who plays Charlie Castle. You are Marion Castle. It's playing at the American Airlines Theater on 42nd Street. Go out and check it out. And also can be seen on a whole bunch of other terrific shows. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Don't let it be the last time you come see us in our studio.
You got it.
Thanks. All the best.
Thanks so much.
I'm Steve Adubato. This is the WNET Tisch Studios. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. Thank you.
Thanks.
If no one claims them, they'll be buried in a potter's field.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Visit us online at oneonone.org, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD.
We welcome Daryl Roth here to the studio. She's a theater producer. She has won 6 Tony Awards and produced 7 Pulitzer Prize-winning plays, and currently she is connected to a wonderful play called Kinky Boots on Broadway, playing at the
Al Hirschfeld Theater.
Tell everyone what Kinky Boots is all about, because it's a fascinating premise.
It's a wonderful story. It's a great musical. The excitement about this, for me, is that it's a true story. And I saw the film Kinky Boots at Sundance 6 years ago when I first got so excited about the story that it was telling, and thought as I was watching the movie, what a fabulous musical this would make. So I came home from that experience and went about getting the rights, and then thought about the people that would be ideal to really create this piece for stage.
The premise is?
The premise is it's a shoe factory in the north of London where well-made, well-crafted shoes are not exactly what people want anymore. And so the factory is failing. On top of that, it's a generation of a family, the Price family generations. It's been in their family for years. And the young son, Charlie,
right,
played by the amazing Stark Sands, comes home
Stark
after his
Sands, who
father
we also
dies.
have coming into the studio.
Stark, who you have coming into the studio, is Charlie Price, the son of. His father passes away suddenly, and he's called up to the factory to try to run it and save it.
And he didn't want to always do that.
He didn't want to do it at all. It was not his passion. He gets home and realizes the factory's in trouble, and he's going to have to figure out a way. And with the help of the factory workers and a good young friend, Lauren, who works there, they come up with this idea to find a niche market. Jump to Charlie being in London one night and breaking up a brawl where he thinks a woman is being beaten up. He goes to her rescue. She, because she can care for herself, swings her boot around and accidentally clunks Charlie in the head. He falls down, wakes up in her dressing room, where we meet the amazing Lola.
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 A beautiful woman.
A beautiful drag queen.
What?
Played by Billy Porter. In the most amazing performance that I think Broadway's seen in a long time. He was meant to play Lola.
Lola is a drag queen.
And
Go
her
ahead.
angels in the club. And when he is hit in the head with Lola's boot, the heel breaks. Thus the little seed is planted that perhaps if Price and Son can make strong boots for women who are men,
right,
they might have that niche market they're looking for.
And the community responds immediately and says, great idea?
Charlie and Lola say, let's give it a try. The factory workers are a little slow to come around, but when they do, it's the most wonderful story of acceptance, learning about people that you would never meet necessarily, learning to accept each other for who you are. It's the story about finding your passion in life. It's the story about being true to who you are. It's a story about growing up and finding your way. Both of the young men, Lola, or Simon as his name is, and Stark, Charlie, have always tried to live up to their father's ideals. There's a beautiful song called I'm Not My Father's Son, which I think most people will relate to. And it talks about trying to please your father, trying to grow up to be who they want you to be, and realizing that you can only be true to yourself. What I want to tell you that is the most exciting is that Jerry Mitchell is our director-choreographer.
Tell everyone who Jerry Mitchell is and why that's significant.
Jerry is just wonderful with this kind of staging and storytelling. Harvey Fierstein wrote the adaptation of the film for stage. And the big excitement and the thrill that I think people will recognize.
How about the music?
Cyndi Lauper.
Wow.
This is her first musical.
And there's Harvey Fierstein in the middle.
Yeah, that's our dream team.
Wow.
And they have created something that I just couldn't have even imagined. It's exactly what I wanted to happen. You know, take a beautiful story with an important message about how to be kind to one another, how to accept one another, how to live your life truly. You know, those are themes that I'm always interested in.
It's interesting you talk about themes you're interested in. We should set the context. We'll talk about some of the other work you've done, but you also have a space in Lower Manhattan where there's a lot of wonderful work going on, not on Broadway, but
definitely off Broadway.
Connected to theater and the arts. Describe that space, what goes on and why it's so special. 15 years ago, you were telling me before we get on the air, it started. Talk about it.
Well, it's a beautiful old building. It's a landmark bank on Union Square East and 15th Street. And it's just very architecturally stunning. It was for sale some years ago, and I was doing a lot of producing off-Broadway at that time. And there were not enough theaters for commercial off-Broadway productions. And this building became available, and we were able to purchase it.
Who's the we?
We, my husband and I were able to purchase it, let me say. It was a magnificent
You're a team.
gift of understanding. He's been my best supporter. He's been my best supporter. And I have a son in the business who is doing amazing things. And I have a wonderful daughter who is a social worker doing amazing things in her world.
Right.
But my husband, Stephen, recognized the value of this building, and we bought it. Originally, I expected to make it into a 299-seat off-Broadway theater, which is what we were needing in the off-Broadway community. And I got a call from a young producer who said, I'd like to show you a video of this amazing performance art piece that's coming from Argentina, and it needs a space much like your bank, without any seats. We have high ceilings, we have 50-foot ceilings, no obstructions. It's a magnificent footprint. I said, of course, let me see. And the video arrived, and I sat down, I remember this to the minute, with my son Jordan, and we watched this amazing performance piece. There are people swinging around on bungee cords, and they're bouncing off the wall, and there is this amazing music going on. I mean, it's a very visceral, emotional, exciting evening.
Right.
It was something called De La Guarda, and it was amazing. I looked at my son and I said, either I'm crazy or this is amazing. Let's give it a try. So instead of moving forward and outfitting this building as a theater, we took in De La Guarda and we actually co-produced it, and it lasted for 7 years. And now its cousin, Terza Bruta, which is another version of this kind of performance piece, is in there and doing well.
So in this space, you have two different
Yes, that's in the
initiatives.
big space.
Right. And all this goes on, and your life is very full, and you're gainfully employing a lot of people and putting on wonderful performances that are just providing wonderful,
hopefully,
and enriching experiences for folks. You are a Jersey girl.
I am.
You said you were from
Born and bred.
Wayne, New Jersey.
Yeah.
You know, for those of us who were born and raised in New Jersey, particularly in northern New Jersey, I'm only one town over from you, in Montclair. I see the Broadway sign behind you and the over-the-shoulder shot. And it always strikes me, I've said this before, being in this Lincoln Center studio that you know, we're in because of our partnership with WNET.
Right.
I've often said that when you live in northern New Jersey, and I don't think I'm making too much of this, and you can react to it however you choose to, that working in New York, being gainfully employed in New York, doing meaningful work in New York, particularly in connection with the arts, theater, media, whatever it is one of the most challenging journeys one can make from New Jersey to New York.
Well, do you mean challenging in the actual physical?
Nope. Well, yeah, getting
because that
put it this
is
way,
for sure.
Getting here today and having to go not through the Lincoln Tunnel, but going around to the George Washington Bridge and coming down the West Side Highway. Yeah, that's another story. But that's not what I'm talking about.
That's not what you mean. Philosophically.
Philosophically and practically.
Yeah.
And actually getting it through, doing what it takes, being rejected, coming back again and again and again. Sometimes I think coming from Kansas is easier. I don't know. I'm not from Kansas. What do you think?
I would respond this way. I think the joy of growing up in New Jersey, and I raised my children in New Jersey too. We do live in New York now, but during those earlier years, I think we had the best of both worlds because we were able to live a relatively normal suburban life, which suited our family, not for everyone, and yet we were able to come to New York. I, as a child, came to New York every Saturday to see a show.
So you did?
I did.
We really
took advantage.
New York was part of your world?
Yes.
Okay.
It was across the river,
Got
but
it.
it was the dream across the river.
Got it. For some of us, it was a million miles away, but go ahead.
Yes. Oh, I know. I had neighbors in New Jersey who, I mean, coming to a Broadway show, you would think they were going to another country.
And they didn't know how to even get there, but that's another story. But go ahead.
And that's something
You
else.
had this whole experience, how much did that help you, not only just have the passion, but have the confidence that you could pull off what you've been able to pull off?
Well, it didn't give me that confidence, actually. It gave me the passion, and it gave me the love, and it gave me a life that was very fulfilled by theater.
What gave you the confidence?
I think the confidence came for me after working in the business for quite some time. I started out feeling desperately anxious to do this. In my own little mind, in my own little world, I knew that I wanted to be a producer, but I didn't have great confidence. I had to do it time after time after time and see that I would be respected and I would be able to do the job, and you know, I could work with talented people both on stage and off, and that they would in turn respect my judgment and my care and my respect for them. It took me some time to really feel myself, and I started later in my life. This was a career that I started in my 40s. I speak to a lot of women about that, you know, and I say it's never too late to be the person you want to be, and that's really true. So I had confidence in my life. I raised a beautiful family. I have a wonderful husband, but the confidence in producing came slowly for me.
And your first play was?
My first play was a small musical revue called Closer Than Ever, written by the great Richard Maltby and David Shire. I'm happy to say it celebrated its 25th anniversary, which made me feel old but proud. And
mostly proud.
Mostly proud.
But the other play that you did very much connected to the AIDS
epidemic.
The
Normal Heart. The Normal Heart. That was a labor of love for me.
Yes.
And something I'm extremely proud of. I would say a career highlight.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Social issues.
Yeah.
Social messages connected to your art, extremely important to you, obviously.
Yes, I think that's been my particular niche market. You know, my mission is to be able to partner good theater with messages that audiences will take to heart, not in a spinachy way, but just really understand that we can make a difference. We can see something on stage that can definitely inform us, definitely move us emotionally, intellectually, but can also possibly empower us to do something as we leave the theater in the world. The Normal Heart was a great example of that. I did that play for many reasons. It was a revival. It was
a few seconds left, go ahead.
It was his anniversary. Larry Kramer is one of our greatest writers.
Great activist, AIDS activist.
Activist. And this was a message that people needed to hear.
Kinky Boots, real quick, people can see it.
People can see it now. It's in previews. It opens April 4th at the Al Hirschfeld Theater. It will be thrilling. You'll have the best time.
I'm going to say goodbye there, but goodbye here. Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, Sun National Bank, New Jersey Natural Gas, United Water, County College of Morris, the Merck Company Foundation, and by Fedway Associates, Inc. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
This healthcare message is brought to you by MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey.
Choosing a new family doctor can be confusing. Check with your health insurer to see which physicians near you participate with your plan. Find out which hospitals the doctor uses and who covers when the doctor is away. And remember to schedule an appointment with your new doctor in advance to fill out any paperwork without the added stress of being sick.